Good afternoon, Miss Gracia. I am Julio Perez,
And I'm Kristel Melendez.
and we are going to talk about paraphrasing and how to use it in order to avoid plagiarism.
Well, first I'm going to give you a little definition of what does plagiarism means. Based on plagiarism organization, it's an act of fraud, and this means that is when you are stealing someone else's information or someone else's documents without giving them the credits. This is a real case that it's really known in or a habit, which is the university. Here we are constantly making some investigations, and also we are making a lot of using a lot of this information. But it's important to note that we need to give the credits or paraphrase this information in order to avoid plagiarism. For this and the importance that it have, we are going to explain you some techniques of how to paraphrase. It's important because if you don't follow these rules or you make plagiarism, you could be punished by the law, and in the worst of the cases, you could be at jail, because now it's something that it's really important to avoid. So my friend Julio is going to explain you what does paraphrasing means, and then we are continue with some examples.
Well, so basically, paraphrasing is using the same ideas of the author but changing some words or the order of the words in the sentences. So you're writing the same ideas but in different words, and this way you're avoiding plagiarism. And well, you should know that using paraphrasing does not mean that you're not gonna cite the ideas that you are using, because you have to always make a good citation of the source. Where are you taking from the information? So for the examples, we are going to show you on the screen the examples, and we're going to explain them. So, well, the first example.
The first example talks about changing from quote speech to indirect speech. And now it's going to appear each example in some screens. And there's two sentences. The one that says, Mrs. Lee said, in quotes, I am ready for lunch. As you see, these sentences is using some quotes, but you can change it by using indirect speech by saying Mrs. Lee said she was ready for lunch. So you are not using quotes, and there's absolutely not the same sentence, but you are talking the same information.
For example, if you take someone's opinion of an article or a newspaper or something like that, you can. The most of the people says, someone said, and in quotes what the people said, but now you can just put the name of the person, and next of the name the word said, and eliminate the quotes, so you can write the opinion of this person. So the second example is change from active voice to passive voice. In the screen will appear the first sentence that says, a hotel employee will carry your bags. And the second sentence will say, your bags will be carried by a hotel employee. In this case, we are changing two words, will carry for will be carried by. And this way we are changing some words, but without affecting the idea of the principal sentence.
The next picture that it appears there talks about changing to synonyms. This is only by using other words and changing them in the first sentence or the information or paragraph that you find. There are some examples like a hotel employee will carry your bags. Another way to say this is your bags will be carried by a hotel employee. And the last one, they change bags from luggage, and it will be like this. Your luggage will be picked up by a bellboy. As you say, there are three words that were changed. There are bags will be carried by, was changed by to pick it up, and the hotel employee was changed to bellboy. These are some examples that we can use to use synonyms.
Well, the final example is to change word forms. One of these could be use an adverb instead of an adjective, or also use a verb to replace a noun. In the sentence, we can read, although it was raining, Bob walked to work. The second one says, it was raining, but Bob walked to work. In this case, we eliminate the word although and add the word but in the second sentence. In the third sentence, we can read, it was raining, however, Bob walked to work. In this case, we eliminated the word but and we add the word however, always using the correct orthography signs.
Well, as a conclusion, we could say that we could also use a combination of these methods that we say after before, and we can combine them in order to make more different the paragraph that we are paraphrasing. As my friend said, this technique, it doesn't mean that we doesn't need to cite, because it's important. As you say, as you see in our video, we use some links that make a reference from when we take some pictures that appears there, and also at the final we cite the definitions where we use or where we take that definitions that we use.
Also, the examples were taken for the Miss Gracia's presentation uploaded on Blackboard, and the other ideas citation is in the preview bibliography. So for conclusion, it's important to learn different ways to avoid plagiarism, because it's a real problem and can carry you other problems. In the worst of the cases, go to jail, or if it's not so bad, you can get a punishment, not just in the university or in the college, but in the work, or if you are doing a investigation and you want to publish it, you will not be able to publish the investigation if you don't have the correct citation.
So we hope you enjoyed this video and you understand each of the examples. Hope you like it, and give us like.
Thank you very much.